Yes, Kapila, thank you so much for joining us here on Monday, September 5th, 2022 for the September session of the Storytelling Buy-In for Adults series. Please introduce yourself fully, tell us about your work, tell us the title of your story, tell us where you're telling from, and most importantly, please tell us a story.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kapila, and originally I belong to Delhi, the capital of India. And I was working with a very nice media company called Hindustan Times. And after getting married, I came to Bhubaneswar. And here I'm associated with a lot of schools, and I'm very closely connected to education sector because that's my heart and soul. So that's all about me. And I'm very happy to be here and sharing this space with all of you. And happy Teachers' Day to all of you from India. So my story is about a wonderful teacher. We all are teachers. In some way or the other, we are teaching someone every day. And this story is very close to my heart because whenever I tell this story, I always feel connected with so many children who are struggling. One day, Grandpa was sitting and they called Trisha. Hey, Trisha, come here. And Trisha, that little 3-year-old girl, came running. Yes, Grandpa. What is this? Taste this. She opened the lid and just put her finger and licked it. How does it taste? Sweet. Right. And then Grandma said, and so is knowledge, my dear child. And knowledge is like that bee. You have to chase it through the pages of a book. So this family belonged to the thought process where they wanted to raise readers. And Grandpa said, this is what I did with your uncle, with your mom, and everyone else in the family. Now it's your turn. Yes, Grandpa, I will also read. And Trisha was happy with her grandparents in the farmhouse. Every day, Grandpa and Grandma used to read her stories. And everyone was waiting that Trisha would start reading very soon. Now she was 5 years old in grade 1. Every day, her red-headed rotten brother would come and put the books. And she would just look at the books. She could not read anything. And her brother, of course, used to empathize. Don't worry, you'll gradually read. It's okay. Trisha was also waiting for that day when she would start reading, because whenever she used to go in the school, her classmates used to read. They were able to connect with the sounds. Boy, cat. And when it was Trisha's turn, these words were just dancing in front of her. It used to look so jumbled up. She was not able to make out what it is all about. These are some shapes which she cannot understand at all. Teacher used to just skip and move on to the other child. It's okay, Trisha. Next, Sue and Ellie were always number 1 in reading. They used to connect the sound so well, make the words, and teacher was super happy. And Trisha, poor thing, she began to feel different. Why am I so different? She used to ask herself. Then one day she asked Grandma, Grandma, do you think I'm different? And Grandma said, you are very different, my child. Of course you are different. It's good to be different. You are brilliant. You are my sweetest, caring, and lovable darling, you know. Grandma, do you think I'm smart? Of course, you are the smartest child in this world. And she used to feel happy. At least someone was there to boost her confidence. Next day again, Trisha went to the school, but always hiding herself because she did not want anyone to know that she was so dumb. That's what she used to think about herself. Why God has made me so dumb? Why can't I read like other children? Oh, every time she used to hide herself. Whenever teacher would ask her to read, she would make some excuse. I'm not feeling well, teacher. Can I just take a break for some time? Teacher did not bother. And it just went on like that. All of a sudden, something happened. Grandma passed away, and Trisha was very disheartened. After some more time, Grandpa also just passed away, and she was feeling so lonely, very alone in this entire world. Her mother was a school teacher. She got a transfer in California. She said, we have to leave this farmhouse, children. Now we have to move to California. So Trisha was again feeling a little nervous. What if all the students or the teachers would come to know that I'm so dumb? Now I'm in grade 3 and still I cannot read. What will happen? But it might so happen that it's a new school, so they may not come to know that I'm dumb. Trisha was happy initially. She happily went to the school. But over there, in the 3rd grade, teacher again asked her questions. She could not answer anything. And everybody in the class used to laugh at her. She used to feel really bad. That's what it happens because she was a dyslexic child and no one was able to make out what the problem was. It often happens with a lot of children and we are not able to make out why they are suffering, why they are behaving in a particular way. So Trisha was always thinking, but she was very good at drawing. She used to draw very nicely. She was like a magician. She used to draw all the things quickly. Again, the teacher asked her, Trisha, read out page number 5 from Charlotte and its web. Web? What is the teacher talking about? I still don't understand. She tried to read She was not actually reading. She was just repeating what the teacher said. Sorry, teacher. Sit down, Trisha. Please practice at home. Okay, teacher. And in the recess, everybody in the class used to tease her. Hey, Dumbo, what's up? How come you're so dumb? Every day she had to face this. One boy, Tom, was just after her life. As if he hated her. She used to just hide herself somewhere, sometimes in the bathroom, sometimes in the classroom. And every time she used to get caught because that boy never used to leave. He would always figure out where she was and he would start just teasing her. One day she decided that I'll hide myself under the staircase where no one would come to know during the recess. Few days, Tom could not realize where she was. Then one day, he figured out she was just hiding under that staircase. And he said, hey, Dumbo, you are sitting under the staircase. And he called all the schoolmates, all the classmates, and they all started to tease her. Dumbo, Dumbo, you are a Dumbo, Dumbo, Dumbo. And Trisha cried and cried and cried her heart out, and she just rushed to home. There was no one who could understand her, nobody. She just started making excuses to her mom. I don't want to go to school, Mama. My head is reeling. A few days, after some days, she would again say, Mama, my stomach is aching. Can I stay at home, please? Then again, she had to go back home after a few days. Nobody was able to understand, and life was just going on. But one day, something happened. An angel teacher came into her life. He was a tall guy wearing the striped coat and the trousers. He was Mr. Falker. Trisha was busy in drawing on her notebook, and Mr. Falker said, Wow, you are a great artist, Trisha. Trisha was confused because she was not habitual now that anybody could praise her. But this teacher did praise her. She gained a little bit of confidence in him. One day, Mr. Falker saw Tom and his friends were teasing Trisha badly. The next day, Mr. Falker asked her, why these guys are teasing you? I don't know, Mr. Falker. I really don't understand. Mr. Falker, his class started, and he asked a question to Trisha, which she was not able to answer to. Everybody in the class again started laughing, and Mr. Falker was furious. You are nobody to laugh. Laugh at someone when you guys are perfect, okay? Don't judge anyone. And that was the last day when anyone laughed at Trisha. Except for Tom, because God knows he hated her. So one day again, when Tom was teasing Trisha badly during the recess, all of a sudden Mr. Falker came and he took Tom to the principal's office, and he had to face the consequences. And he came back to Trisha and told, Trisha, you don't have to worry about that boy now. It's fine, my dear. Now, after the school, I give you this duty. You have to wipe the blackboard. And during that time, it was an honor for a child to get that kind of duty from the teacher. Oh, the teacher has asked me to clean the board? Wow. She started cleaning the board, and Mr. Falker said, take this chalk and draw the letters. I'll call out the letters. Write on C. Trisha first did not understand what is this letter. And Mr. Falker helped him draw the letter. Draw D, draw M, draw O. Then he started doing certain playway methods with her. Draw this in the sand. He took his index finger and made her draw different letters. He started working very hard with that child. And there was one more teacher who helped her to read. And both these teachers helped her after the school hours. Letters after letters, words after words, paragraphs after paragraphs. And one fine day, she started reading. Mr. Falker said in the class, Trisha, read. Yes, Mr. Falker. And he said, the guy leaned in fractionally to hear the next part of the sentence, and researcher kicked, and she went on and on and on, and she read the entire paragraph. Everyone in the class clapped for her, and Trisha felt really happy. Now 30 years had passed. Trisha had become a big girl, of course. And she met Mr. Falker in a store after 30 years. And she ran up to her. Mr. Falker, did you recognize me? Oh, well, can't really make out. Who are you? Mr. Falker, I'm Trisha. You taught me, remember? You taught me everything. Oh, Trisha? Yes, I do remember, my child. How are you? I'm good, Mr. Falker. Really happy. So, my child, what do you do now for your living? Well, Mr. Falker, I'm an author now. I write children's books. Thank you, Mr. Falker. Thank you very much for whatever you did for me. It changed my life. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much. A wonderful story. So is that a story you created, or is it from somebody else?
It's about the author herself as it is given in the story. The name of the author is Patricia Polloco. So in the end of the story, she told that she became an author. She writes children's book.
Oh, it was her story. I mean, it was about her.
That's what it is mentioned in the book.
Barry?
Yeah, it's, thank you, Mr. Falker.
Oh my God, you have it.
And I have to say that, you know, Patricia Polloco is one of our best children's authors. And I had the opportunity to meet her once, I don't know, about 15 years ago probably. She was at an event at a bookstore, and she is just delightful and very sweet and friendly, and I know a whole lot of her books. And yeah, you did a lovely job with this.
She's my favorite. I just love her so much. And I think it goes for every age group because there's so much to learn from this story. And I even used the story for the teachers when I took their workshop. And they all got connected because it's so real. And nowadays, these cases are increasing so much. I really feel very sad when I see in almost each and every class, 2 students or 3 students, they're struggling with ADHD or they are dyslexic. And teachers over here, maybe if I'm not mistaken, they're not very well trained. They cannot, recognize their problem, and they start passing these sarcastic comments that again, this diffuses their confidence level.
Sherry?
Yes, thank you very much for bringing one of our favorite children's author, Patricia Polloco, to your storytelling. Patricia Polloco, I too have met several times in the United States, and she often presents children who have fears, who have unusual families, who have situations that they cannot control. And each time I've heard her, she's had her magical quilt that she has worn like a cape as she has done her presentations. And if there's a child present, she brings that child on stage and wraps them in the quilt. And they stand there so proud. You have done a wonderful job in bringing, thank you, Mr. Falker, to life for us today. Thank you.
Thank you. If anyone knows her, please convey my regards and please tell her I'm a very big fan of hers.
So am I.
It brings to mind that Indian movie that came out, what, about 5 years ago?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
The teacher comes and, what's the name of that movie?
Tare Zameen Par.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, ending was something very different. So I think the ending part, when she became an author, That was very, very different.
Yeah, she became the teller of the story. I mean, it was, she not only lived to tell the tale, she developed into an author capable of telling the tale.
Why I resonate with this story, Eric, because I was not a topper during my school days, but yeah, maybe here in Indian system, it's always the marks which matters. So I was always sitting through my 60s and 70s. I mean, percentage, 60, 70, I used to manage. But there are certain slow learners. There are children who are dreamers. So we cannot have just one instruction method for everyone, but unfortunately, it doesn't happen. So we have to live with it.
Wonderful. Okay, well, thank you very much. Wonderfully told.